and the police aren't going to touch her. But I don't even, and I shouldn't let them win. A, I'm too busy to go hunting. But B, every time I'm at our little deer camp, about 6 acres into our own property, we don't even have hunters on our land. When I was a kid, they did. You know, people that pay to lease it. Every time I go hunting, the gate opens up, lights drive up, and arrogant, bloated pieces of trash game wardens come up, and you'll have a deer hanging up. They don't care if you got the sticker. They don't care if you have the tags. They let you know you're scum. Now, when I was a child, it wasn't like that. And it's like that everywhere. This isn't land of the free, home of the brave. They're not looking for poachers, folks. They're there to let you know you're their slave. And now they're training them to see what you're growing, to see what you're doing, and claiming they don't need warrants to come on your property. And this goes back to Robin Hood 800 years ago. This goes back to your family starving. You get caught with a rabbit you killed to feed your wife, and they would kill you. They would kill you. They would take you out, tie you to a pole, and slit your throat was the main way they did it. No judge, no jury, no nothing. And that's how this works. And now, I don't even want to be around them. I mean, here's an example. 3 years ago, my great-uncle since died of pancreatic cancer. He had been radiated, had part of his pancreas removed. He wanted to go hunting one more time. He thought he was going to die then. He ended up dying last year. My uncle Leonard Jones, great guy. He is out there, and I always love these reports. It's like the cop broke the neck of this 84-year-old vet, and they're like, he's a vet. Well, you know, they hate vets even more. But Korean vet, you know, great guy. He was sick and didn't want to drive the deer in to have it processed. He didn't want to have to gut it himself. So my uncle and my dad got in the car to drive it into town, a county that my family literally founded. You understand, this is America. They're driving into Fairfield, 10 miles away. Our property's closer to Buffalo. They drive in there, and I wasn't there. My dad told me the story, my uncle. And the state police pull him over. And this guy got his hand on his gun. He's yelling at my uncle. And the deer has a tag on it, and he says, "What do you mean you didn't kill this deer? You're going to jail." All these other state police show up. "You're not allowed to transport a deer that wasn't yours." And they said, "Well, actually, I'm a landowner, and it's legal for a landowner to do it." And they said, "Shut up. Shut up. I wasn't talking to you." You know that routine where you're talking to somebody, and you talk, and they tell you, "Be quiet, shut up." And then more police show up, and one actually had an IQ. I guess he didn't drink enough fluoride when he was growing up. He says, "No, it's legal." And that cop was like, "You're lucky, I'll get you next time." I mean, this is what our country has turned into. This is what our country is. The government wants you to know that you're a slave. They want you to know that you're being watched. That's why they have that Pennsylvania TV ad where it says, "Tom, nice house, nice car. What's not nice is you owe $4,000 in back taxes." And it shows a satellite watching Tom. They want you to know they're watching you. They want you to know. And they're going to put you in jail with $1 million fine. That's the AP headline. In fact, $1 million fine for garage sale. Search that term. I want to show folks. They want you to know that you are scum. Now, the illegal aliens filling up the military, driving down the wages, voting to take your guns, they're above the law. I saw another case last week in Austin where this illegal alien had run into people 3 times. He finally killed somebody, and they're not even knowing if they're going to charge him with manslaughter. Because you don't want to make them not feel welcome. They're red carpet. That's why Obama's aunt, she says, "Hey, you owe me 3 forms of welfare. I'm an illegal alien. You owe me citizenship. Give me the money. Give me that money right now." But when they're done bringing this country down, you think she's going to get anything? No, she's going to get nothing. But see, all these debts that are run up into the bankers. So citizens, there it is, new government policy imposes strict standards on garage sales nationwide. And I'm sorry, I was wrong. I was doing that from a year ago. I said 1 million fine. I apologize. I got it wrong. You thought I was exaggerating? I'm sorry. No, it was $15 million fine. Excuse me. A $15 million federal fine for a garage sale. We'll be right back. Okay, I want to take some calls from farmers. I will spend 5 minutes on the cycle. I'm going to make a YouTube or pacman.pt.vu video. I made a 30-minute special video for pacman.pt.vu members that went up last night. It's titled What We Really Are, where I talk about the nature of humanity. It deals with the cycle. It deals with all these issues. But I wanted to get into some other facets of it, and we will. But let's go to some farmer calls. Then we'll get to Brian and JD. For farmers to call in and talk about what they're dealing with, or ranchers, and this legislation that is designed to shut down what's left of the family farm and ranch. Scott in Arkansas, you're on the air.
Hi, Alex. How you doing?
Good.
Here just about a year ago, we bought some heirloom organic seed vault, and we planted about a half an acre this year. Well, about the beginning of August, we had some Mexican citizens, I guess, here on work visas with spray containers on their backpacks, spraying everybody's land around here, including our garden.
Yeah, no, I knew where you were going. Let me tell you what's happening there, at least with cases I've seen. Monsanto, and how they get away with trespassing, I don't know, actually has planes. In fact, search this. People won't believe it. Monsanto drops Roundup bombs on crops. They do it in Europe, Canada, and here, all over the world, India, and they fly in with planes and drop a canister, and if, you know, let's say it kills 300 of your corn plants, your soybean, whatever it is, if one plant lives, they then sue you claiming that you had their genetics. But what happens is, and they finally lost in court on this, their seeds blow in, their seeds contaminate yours, and so if there's any of their genetics, that plant lives, and the Roundup doesn't kill it. So they're killing your crops, but the government says that's okay to test. Now, is that what was happening with the illegals?
I don't know. I'm not sure, but it was a company called Progressive Solutions, contracted by Carroll Electric Corporation, and they basically came in and sprayed Lineage Clear Stand, Accord XRT, Toradon K, and Alligator 90. And clearly in the MSDSs, it says, do not spray around anywhere where there's water wells. And what's funny is just 4 to 5, maybe even a week after they sprayed, everybody in our little farming community got sick. Well, me and my wife started driving around to look at some of the other farms that were hit. Not one single Cargill farm was hit. Not one. Not one. All the little mom-and-pop farms around here in our community, gardens are dead. And according to the MSDSs on Lineage Clear Stand, it stays in the soil 15
Well, let me ask you a
years.
question. I know this is going on, and it's part of basically, you know, this larger plan to shut everything down. Why don't you post no trespassing, and why don't you call the sheriff on this company?
We did. They said that the electric company owns the land near or around the power lines, which, of course, where's land at that there's no power lines?
So they claim they have an access right-of-way that supersedes your property. That's made up. That's not true. They may have it right underneath it, but they're just claiming that.
Well, they got us. They got us. They got all the other farmers in our community, and it's happened everywhere Carroll Electric has power lines, except these big agribusinesses, the chicken places. Nothing there got sprayed, which actually we are the home of the Tyson Chicken right here in northwest Arkansas, and none of their farms got sprayed. None of the Cargill farms got sprayed. They just ignored all that. But they hit every single mom-and-pop farm in this whole area.
Well, they train you. They just come on your property. They drop bombs on it. Guys, I know you found an InfoWars article dealing with how they're using Blackwater, but, I mean, this was all over the news. It happened to Percy Smizer and many others. Just search the term. Well, I mean, that should pull it up. Or Cole Watson, if you can't find it. The search term would be Monsanto trespasses to test for their genes. Something like that. Should pull it up for you. But they have planes that fly over and drop canisters that kills your crop. And they go, oh, their crop's dead. They didn't steal from us. Meanwhile, they release their genetic material. It gets into your farm, and the courts almost always rule for them, saying that's okay. This is globalism. Incredible. Anything else you want to add there, Mike, from...
Flying around doing all this? We're looking for pot plants, spraying for pot plants.
Okay, Scott, sorry. All right, Scott, I appreciate your call. I mean, did they say any other reason they were doing this?
They said for vegetation control.
But then they walk up to your crops and do this?
Yes. Ours, but all our neighbors.
Amazing. All right, thank you so much, Scott. We'll go to Mike, Kathy, and many others on the other side discussing this, the war against agriculture.